Hey y'all! Happy Thursday! It's your girl Positively V, and I'm back with another video. So today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 15, episode 14, I believe. But it's gonna be on the thumbnail just in case I'm wrong. But oh my god, I'm so excited about this episode. This episode was really good in my opinion. I really just want to dive right on in, but I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna build up to it, okay? The last 2 days, why haven't I posted a video? I wasn't inspired enough. I was gonna do a video, and I still am gonna do a video on the not loving hip hop, Lord. The what is it called? The BT Hip Hop Awards, which were really, really good from beginning to end, in my opinion. I love award shows already, so I'm probably a little biased, but I think this one this year was so good, so on point. But check the next video for the information on that, or a couple of videos after this, because I do have to review a couple of other shows. But okay, so this episode of Married at First Sight starts off with the couples traveling to the retreat, or getting ready for the retreat first, and Miguel telling Lindy that they're gonna do a prom for her in honor of her Miss Prom, because of her and her, I believe, Mormon was the religion that her family was involved in. I thought that was so sweet, so thoughtful, and she seems to really like the idea. He bought a dress for her, so she's prepared. She don't have to go out and figure nothing out. So I thought that was amazing. I thought that was so thoughtful and so sweet. So then they're all driving to the retreat. Anybody could drive in a relationship, but I just was like very shocked to see that every single one of the couples, it was the woman driving. Now, I don't know about any of y'all out there, but let me tell you, as for me in my house, and I'm a girl, before I was in a relationship, when I was single, I'm a driver. That's what I be telling my man. I'm a driver. Don't get it twisted. I could drive. Okay. If I need to drive, I could drive. Okay. But I love sitting in the passenger seat. So it was interesting. There was nothing wrong because anybody can drive. But I just was like, dang, all the wives driving. And they going, I don't know how far they're going from their house. So I just thought it was interesting. Not that I feel any one way about it, but interesting, right? So they get to the house. The house is beautiful. I mean, spotless. Look like it smells great in there. Um, and then I'm gonna just skip to it. Lindy and Miguel, they in their room. It seems like most of the rooms in the house have like a really great view of the water. And Lindy says, "Hey Miguel, can you get a picture?" And we don't have any visual of this conversation. We only have audio. So I wonder if Miguel knew that they were still mic'd up, or if, the mics would catch what we caught. But I'm so grateful we caught it. Okay. So Lindy's like, "Can you just take a picture of me gazing out this window?" And it doesn't seem like there was pushback at first, but then Lindy's like, "Hey, no, not in selfie mode. Can you do it on the back camera?" Now, anybody that knows, okay, the front camera, although it may be great for certain things, if you're trying to get a really, really good picture, you need that back camera action, period. Okay, you need it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You need it, okay? So he's like not doing it. I'm assuming from the audio that we hear. And she has like a little moment where she's just like, Miguel, no, please do it. Come on. Like, how like a girl can be sometimes like whiny type response. That's what she did. It was a joke. It was like, babe, no, you're making me mad. Just do it. That type of thing. He didn't like that. Apparently, Miguel is like, never talk to me like that again. I ain't the one that's gonna receive that from you. Okay, you can't talk to me like that. Hallelujah. So So this came as a tiny shock because I don't think we've seen Miguel be like firm or give her real pushback other than times where she's had like outbursts or had like emotional responses to things that he's done. And he's always been kind of like, oh, I don't know how that's gonna work. Like very alarmed by it, right? So to see him now having what I would call an emotional response to something is very shocking because I'm like, okay, he's been so, I won't say harsh, but I would say he's been at least a little judgmental towards her and her emotional responses to things. So after that happens, it seems like they quickly had to come down for the prom, for the actual prom, which is crazy. So they came down. At first, they're looking very normal, looking like they're just going to have a great night. They're going to bury it or whatever. And then as they're dancing, Miguel brings it back up again. He's not feeling it. At a certain point, he starts to feel like Lindy is gaslighting him. He used the term gaslighting because initially she said, hey, that was just my response to you using selfie mode. I was just kidding. And then at the same breath, she says, like I didn't mean it. And then in the same breath, she says, I was frustrated. I think all three of those things were true. She was getting frustrated because you were playing and she was trying to get a good picture, but then she was also only kidding. She wasn't like really upset. Like she wasn't angry. She was just like, hey, stop playing. Let's just take the picture. So he was kind of like holding on to every single word that she said out of her mouth and was having like meltdowns on every single word. Like he was just locking in on it and not allowing her to like express herself without him having to dissect what she was expressing, if that makes sense. I know that sounds complicated, but his responses to her this whole episode was very complicated. So they still don't seem like they have any resolve at this prom. Prom seemed very fun nonetheless. They had their little superlatives. Um which is, like in high school, the yearbook, you have your superlatives, where they vote like most likely to succeed, class clown. I think in the superlatives they also have king and queen. I believe best dress, best looking, like things like that, right? And I know I definitely wrote it down. Okay, so I did. So life of the party, they gave it to Alexis. Best dancer, they gave it to Nate. Drama queen, Lindy. Most emotional, who y'all think? Drop down in the comment box and let me know who y'all think is most emotional. If you've been watching this season, I think you have no doubts whatsoever about who it is. Justin. Now, me personally, I don't think there's any wrong with a man that shows his emotions. I actually don't think I can be with a man that doesn't have emotions, that are not in tune with their emotions. Just because you have emotions don't mean you need to be crying every single second. But if you feel compelled to cry, let it out, my brother. Like, why are you holding it in? We are human beings, like we are composed of water, like let it out. And I think that when you're able to let those emotions out, that shows a sense of comfortability. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Comfortability within yourself, but you don't feel like you have to hide that. We all got emotions, okay? And I think it shows your strength when you can show that. Most likely to save the planet. And did I say his name? Justin. Justin got most emotional. Most likely to save the planet is Mitch. You already know. Best all around. So I guess that's like most well rounded. But they said best all around. That went to Stasha. biggest gossiper, you already know, Alexis. Which what's funny to me is that it seems like, I don't know if y'all noticed this, Nate and Alexis don't seem like they like each other. I don't remember. Oh, I do remember they was in the house, and I think they were maybe sitting around like the island or whatever, or maybe around a table. But I think it was like the island in the kitchen, and Stasha and Nate had just got there, and Nate came around to say hi to them, and he like went to hug Alexis, and Alexis tried to like fist bump him. She was like, just do the fist bump or something, and he tried to hug her, but he basically ignored what she said and still put his arms around her. But I could tell them two they don't rock with each other, and I 1,000% understand why Nate don't rock with Alexis. You know, everybody has brushed over the fact that Alexis is basically the one who broke Morgan and Ben's relationship up. Instead of her going to Morgan and telling Morgan what Ben was telling Justin, Alexis should have just told Justin, hey Justin, tell Ben he needs to go tell Morgan. He needs to stop coming to you saying these things, and he needs to tell Morgan because Morgan needs to know. Wow, Morgan, of course, and we're not gonna go back into it. Morgan, of course, should have still forgiven Ben. That's my opinion. But Alexa, she dropped that tea off, and she didn't help them resolve it. It was just like, here you go, and now they divorced, or about to be divorced. Okay. So yeah, so Alexis, rightfully so, definitely got biggest gossiper. And in Stasha's and Nate's like confessionals, I thought, number one, they were so cute. I can tell for sure that those two are friends. They seem like they have so much fun together. The sex seemed like it's on point. Okay, they all up in the swing. They took the swing over there to Lindy and Miguel. It was so funny when Lindy was in there and Miguel was like, you know, impersonating the poses that they may do or whatever. So I thought that was really, really fun. They needed that swing that night because they was having a whole lot of like communication issues. So if they could have just had some good sex that night, I know it would have helped resolve it just a little, just just a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really cute. So yeah, moving on. Biggest flirt. I'm sorry, biggest gossiper. I missed some things. Oh no, I didn't. So Kristen, crazy tale. The next question was most likely to get divorced twice. And guess who voted for themselves? Kristen, Mitch's wife. Girl, why you did it? Why you did it? Y'all was just getting back on like a kind of good place and on kind of good terms, and then you did that. Mitch ain't like that. Mitch did not like that. He was like, these the type of jokes I used to make that you didn't like, and here you are making them now. And I'm supposed to like them? No, I don't like it. Me not like it. Me not like it at all. So this is a side note. Y'all know how like around your neighborhood you have like the boat pickup time, and then people put their stuff out, and then you have the people that come around and like collect that stuff. I wonder how lucrative that is. Is somebody doing that right now? And it's like, you got a whole bunch of ting put in the back of his truck. I wonder how lucrative that is, but that is totally a side note. um, and I think that was all of the superlatives. I hope I didn't miss none. And Mitch got class clown as well, in addition to most likely to save the planet, which I mean, I don't know. I didn't get class clown from Mitch. Most difficult maybe Mitch with the t-shirt them there, you know. So all in all, prom seemed to be much fun. The next morning, all of the couples woke up and they seemed very like lovey-dovey in the bed, very like cuddlesome. I thought that was very cute. I love to see love. I tell you that all the time. I love it. It just brings joy to my heart. So then they all went on separate dates that day. So Justin and Alexis went to a vineyard, a wine tasting. And there it was revealed that they finally had sex, right? In that moment when it was talked about, it seemed like they both really enjoyed it. It seemed like it was a love making session versus them just having sex. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like a beautiful thing. But then when Alexis was in the kitchen with Stasha and Lindy, was it no Stasha and Kristen? She kind of said she wasn't satisfied. It was a stamina issue. I could not believe she told him. The only thing going through my mind in that moment was like, girl, do you not know that Justin is going to see this? Like, you telling him it was great, but then you telling them it was a stamina issue. Tell your husband that. Don't tell him that. And if you want to tell him that off camera. Oh, I just hate that for her and Justin. Why? That's an indication to me that Alexis is not being true with her feelings to Justin. Another indication, not the indication, another indication. This whole time, I'm just like, it just something seems off about Alexis. And I think the off part is that she's not being genuine and she's not being true. I think that she wants this marriage so bad, but I just don't think she's ready. I don't think she's ready to be a mature woman. I don't think that she's ready to like really communicate effectively and also accept accountability for things that she may do. And I think that accountability, being able to accept accountability and own it, I think that is a very essential part of being in relation with people, because as humans, we none of us are perfect. We all got flaws. Don't get it twisted. Like, to have to be in a relationship with another person you think you easy to deal with, because you ain't. Every person in this world got something about them that makes them difficult to deal with. Not difficult to deal with, but makes it not the easiest to live with them. Nobody walk the earth is perfect, okay? So I didn't like seeing that. I was just like, no, don't do that, Alexis. Girl, it's your man. Build him up. Don't tear him down. So men are like that. I didn't like that at all. Um, I also said that like at the beginning of this episode, but even in previous episodes, I love the way that Alexis and Justin looked at each other. Like, to me, it's like love is in their eyes. Am I the only one? Like, love is in their eyes when they look at each other. But one thing I did notice is that it seems like Justin is still big time, still hurt about, I don't know if it's his dog. It could be his dog because he's very emotional. But it seemed like he's wrapped up in some feelings about something, and I think next episode or the episode after that we'll actually find out what he really feeling inside. It's only 8 days until decision day, guys. So decision day is around the corner, okay? It's about to go down, okay? So Miguel and Lord, what's the people them name? Miguel and Lindy, they go on a carriage ride. I thought it was cute. So Lindy is seeing all the things that are around her. She is present. She's trying to listen to her husband, and her husband trying to rap to her. Okay, and it ain't the most entertaining rap either. I'm gonna tell you that. Okay, it's not the most entertaining rap. He trying to rap to her though, and I think she did a pretty good job of diverting her attention back and forth. Like, do you want her to just like zone out everything, or can she like try to juggle it? And I think she did a good job juggling it. Miguel did not like the fact that she was getting excited about seeing the rabbits hopping around or anything that was happening around her. It seemed like Miguel has like an ego problem. That's what it feels like to me, because I'm like, you can't be all of a sudden getting up this upset about this, like something so simple. Like, I just don't see it. It got to be an ego problem. I'm like what more do you want from her? And in that lunch, I would say lunch, Lindy kind of broke down because she's like, it just seems like I can't do anything right. I say the rabbits are hopping, how cute, and you get upset because you're trying to rap. But I'm like, I hear the rap, and I said thank you. She even said every single time, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Like I thank you. It was a gift because I'm saying thank you. And then I guess people had their iPhones out recording them, and she got, she didn't. I wouldn't say she got riled up, but she just mentioned it. Oh my God, they have their iPhones out. She's not a celebrity, so I can imagine her feeling something or just needing to express it in that moment. Is not that big of a deal, Miguel. Like, why are you trying to tear this woman down? I I don't understand. He just, as I'm watching him this episode, I'm like, wow, Miguel is being mean. Like he's being mean. For me, and I'm talking about Vanessa, me in real life, like mean is a deal breaker. Why is it a deal breaker? Because if you're mean to me, right, I could give you a pass for a small period of time. I could give you grace. I could give you understanding. You have a bad day, you have a bad moment. I can give you that. But it can never be a pattern because after one time, now I'm feeling like I got to be mean back to you. Okay? You want to be mean? I can be mean too. But I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? It can be, but that's not who I am. Therefore, a mean partner, you having a bad day, you feeling stressed out at work, you having a bad week, you having a bad month, I cannot be your punching bag. Mm-mm. As your wife, as your girlfriend, you have to. Mm-mm. You can't tear me down. The person that's supposed to be holding you up, you can't tear me down. No, that's a deal breaker. Red flag, flag on the play, technical, technical flag, and I'm doing all the wrong signs. I don't know the signs. Technical. Time out. It ain't going down like that. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know where this meanness in Miguel has come from. What I did notice in this episode though is that for a long time it seems like Lindy was just giving in and 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 not putting her foot down for the things that mattered most to her. If for instance, when it was some episodes back long towards the beginning, probably when they were on their honeymoon, Lindy had expressed something to the girls, right? That it was something that was either bothering her currently or that could potentially bother her. When they all got together, couples, and they tried to press Miguel on it, Lindy said, And I think it might have been, was it about the sex, the sex early? I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but it was something. And she took up for him. And I think it was Stasha that pressed her and was like, but girl, when we was all together, you said such and such. And she was like, no, I'm good with it. So for a while, you could see that Lindy was just kind of like, okay, my man said it, so I'm gonna go with my man because this my husband. This ain't just my boyfriend, it's my husband. And I think she got lost in the sauce. And I think that now she's starting to wake up to see, hold up, I can't just keep giving in. Because if I continue to give in, when is enough going to be enough? And she said those words this episode, like, I can't. When is enough going to be enough? Like, I can't be myself. And that's the thing with Lindy. Like, she has to learn that she can be herself. But she has to love herself in order to be comfortable being herself. You have to love yourself so much and to me, love isn't just like a word. Love is an action word, right? So it's not a word that you just say, it's something that you do. So in what ways are you loving yourself to know that you deserve the best? To know that what you present to people is worthy, right? And if you're not actively loving yourself in your own world, in your own, when you by yourself and when other people not around, then you're not going to know how to demand love from other people. And I think that there's something like that that's going on with Lindy, because even with like the outbursts that she does have, this episode, I do not believe she had any outbursts. I think that her emotional responses were in line with how she was being treated. I don't think that she was too emotional or too anything. I think that she should have went harder on him, actually. If you ask me, because he was mean. He was so mean this episode. So yeah, I think Lindy needs to like kind of go inward and dissect why she's accepting this from him. Even though this is the first time the meanness has reared its head, instead of her checking him, she's like kind of is going inward. And that's why she cried a couple of times. And when she started crying when they were about to go down to dinner with the couples the night after they did the little chariot ride, and she started crying, oh my God, I felt that in my soul. I have cried that cry before, honey, okay? I felt that in my soul. And Lindy got to hold this man accountable. She got to hold herself accountable, and she has to do better, but she got to hold that man accountable. She cannot allow him to continue to talk to her like that. She cannot allow him to continue to use her as a punching bag of, a verbal, emotional punching bag, because that was definitely all kind of emotional, mental manipulation. And that is 100% a red flag, a deal breaker. It's like, I'm gone. No, period. So yeah, I ain't like that. And then the next day they went to play dodgeball. I believe it was next day. I hope the chronologically is in order, but I don't know. I could be wrong. So then the next day they go to play dodgeball, right? It seemed like such a fun game. Lindy is very competitive, just like me. I am very competitive. I like to win. I like to talk. I like to win. I like to talk. Um, and I don't like to lose. But, and however, I am a good loser. I could be humble. I could kind of like, chill out and, congratulate you. But if you start talking shit, and then I didn't mean to curse. If you start talking junk and I beat you, I'm gonna talk junk after I beat you for sure. So all of the couples were separated, right? So no couple was on the same team together. So at dodgeball, how many couples are left? 4 couples. So you have Lindy and Miguel, Justin and Alexis, Sasha and Nate, and then Kristen and Mitch, right? So you had 2 boys and 2 girls on each team. So the last round, there's Miguel left on the other team, and I think like maybe 2 left on Lindy's team. So Lindy is like, get him, get him. She was just like cheering on her team, as she should. So Miguel is like, hey babe, we not on the same team. What's good? She's like, no, we're not on the same team. Like I'm on this team. And here go my child. This video is 30 minutes in, so I can't. I'll be back in a minute, okay? I tried to act like he wasn't there for a second, but how kids is funny. Even though I have, okay. So, anyways, so he's like, babe, wait to like give me moral support. What? He really got in his feelings because she was like, Nate, get that boy out. And they ended up beating them. Like Lindy's team ended up beating Miguel's team. And Miguel was salty about it. He tried to make it just something that it wasn't. He tried to say he can't take no more of her. What she did was wrong. you could still give your husband some moral support, even though we're not on the same team, because we're on the same team in life, because you're my wife. And it was just like, really? To me, that's the type of stuff you have to like really sit down and address real time so that he doesn't keep doing stuff like that. No, we're on different teams. It was a game, sir. It was a game. Like, I'm trying to smash you in any game that we play. Like, it was a game. Like, what do you mean? So I was really disappointed in Miguel. I know that Lindy said one time, like, are you trying to sabotage this? Like, are you trying to look for a reason to divorce me? And it kind of feels like that, because up until now, I know he's made like plenty of statements that where he's like, he doesn't know if he can handle Lindy and her outbursts and the way that she communicates. But I'm just like, out of nowhere, it just like, and he's just tripping. So what else? I think that's it. Oh, when there was that dinner and Stasha and Nate with the vibrating panties, I thought that was hilarious. Sasha and Nate said it this episode, Sasha's definitely a freak and Nate is here for it. Okay. They look like they've been having the time of their life. God bless them. Okay. I know a lot of couples could probably use some advice from them because they look like they is enjoying it, honey. Okay. Um yeah, so I think that's it. I think that if I give my predictions right now, I think that Sasha and Nate will make it. I think that Alexis and Justin, I feel like they could potentially have the I feel like potentially they could make it if Alexis gets real with it. If she started dressing whatever it is that's really on Justin's chest, I think they could potentially make it. Mitch and Kristen, I feel like they're so cute together. I feel like Kristen is so fun, and Mitch seems like he can be kind of fun sometimes too, but then he has that difficult bone in him, which I don't like that. So I don't know about them. It's kind of like a question mark. And with Lindy and Miguel, I feel like if Miguel can take accountability for his actions, I think that if he can work on himself and get better, I think that they could work, because Lindy does love him, and it seemed like she willing to, you know, smell his stinking drawers. Okay. So overall, to me, this was a great episode. I can't wait for next week. I am going to review Salt Lake City this week. Maybe even did I review Love and Marriage Huntsville last week? I think I did, and so I'm definitely going to review that again. I thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you know when I post another video, you can be the first to know. Okay. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great night. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow is coming. Thank God. And thank you for supporting me. Positively's out.